30th, 2022. This one here, I'm going back to a Goodman AC job that I put gas in about 6 weeks ago. And it was pretty low. And I found a leak on the evaporator coil on the tap for the TXV. I found it leaking there. I also got some hits on the coil with my sniffer. The guy wanted it fixed. I mean, the thing after 6 weeks, he called me. The pressure, I went back over there. The pressure was back down about 30 pounds on the suction when it was running. So it was a pretty significant leak over there. And I told the guy from the get-go that I could put gas in it and check for leaks and see how long it lasts. And it's not always easy to find these leaks, so I told him the best way to do it is, you know, pull the refrigerant into the condensing coil and pressurize the line set and pressurize the coil with nitrogen. And let it sit overnight and see what drops. So what I did was I cut the supply and return on the up in the attic, and I twinned them together and I put a tap in so I could pressurize it. I did back that cap off that A-coil TXV tap, and I did replace the Schrader core, and I put a nice brass cap on it that had a good gasket on it, so if that was leaking from that area, it wouldn't have been leaking. Or we put the nitrogen test on it, and then I called them the next day, and the coil dropped significantly. So the leak's definitely in the coil. So I called Goodman, and the guy that installed that unit never registered it, so it was only warranted for 5 years, the coil, and it was, I think, 7. So the coil was not under warranty because the guy who installed it never registered it. So he's at the point where I told him I'd do a time and material. He's going to pay me for my time plus the coil and the gas, and it gets expensive. But he wants it fixed, so he can't be filling it every 6 weeks. Not my fault. You know, I tried my best. I went over there and I told him that I might have to go back. It depends on how long it lasts. I mean, if the charge lasts for a year and a half, I mean, it ain't worth ripping the coil out and changing it. There's a lot of ifs on this stuff. Nothing's carved in stone. So anyway, I sniffed the condenser really good with my meter. I couldn't find any leaks there. So that's where we're going back. We're going back there. We got to cut the line set, reattach the line set, put the new coil in, and pull a good vacuum and get it up and running for the guy. This is a pretty cool guy. He was involved. The first day I was there, he wasn't involved. His wife was home, but after that, he got involved with it. He was there when I did the test, and he's going to be there today when I go back. So, like I explained to him, it's kind of a lot of work to do this. It's not an easy task. That's the proper way of doing it. Isolate each section, put a nitrogen test on each section, and you know exactly what's leaking and what's not. That's where you're 100% guaranteed you know what the issue is. You know, all these guys go around sniffing the coil. Oh yeah, it's the coil. Well, might be the line set too, you don't know. So it's good to cover your ass. I always say cover your ass. I didn't pull all the refrigerant out of the condenser. I left that in there. I could have did that. So that was another step that would have been, you know, more time involved and reclaiming all the refrigerant, and I didn't seem it necessary. Most of the time, the leak's in the evaporator. I got a new one. We're going in. We're going to do the swap, but I'll try to get you some shots if I can. Yeah, so the line set stayed good.
I'm assuming the one.
Yeah, and then the other one, I mean, dropped right down to nothing. Which was this one. Definitely the coil.
Huh?
Definitely, yeah. And so, yeah, all right. So, what'd you say? What was cracked with the pan? You said
The drain.
Oh, it broke off. Okay. Yeah, I see that. We're gonna change that anyway. That's fine. That's no big deal. It's actually good because you got it out of my way. All right. We'll do what we gotta do here. It's 3/4. 7/8.
I was going to wait until October. I didn't think this was going to happen, you know? So I was thinking about, like, when it gets cooler, I was going to come up here and just fuck around with this, you know?
There's the piston. Get it out. Use that. The underside of this. She's across the wall. Mr. Grinch. That's my game plan anyway. We know the line set's good because I tested it and there was no issues. Reuse this stuff if I can, obviously. Reuse what I can. That should come right out of there now. Coil. You can see I put a new cap on there. A nice cap, but didn't help. And I did put change the Schrader core before I put the test on it. Put a new Schrader core in there. He's a leaker. Nothing major here. Anyway. I don't see nothing rubbing. Sometimes it's in this thing. They rub together. Anyway. That's it. Alright, we had the air in it, so that was good. All back together. There's one connection here. I re-glued that in and put a new one. So now if you ever want to winterize this trap, or if you ever want to pull a vacuum with a hose, all you got to do is cap this, right? And put a wet vac on the other end, and you could suck this. Sometimes this trap will get full of muck. So if you ever, you know where this line goes outside? Every so often, and like in the winter before it gets cold out, you should suck this out from outside with the vacuum. And then now clean that out, and next year you'll be ready to go. So we got a vacuum, you got a vacuum switch here.
Is there anything that I should know about the unit itself?
The filters. And when I started, I'm gonna go over with you what to look for. But this trap, I added this last time I was here. If you're going to pull a vacuum on it, you got to cap this end.
Yep, I got it.
This right here is acting as a vent.
Yep, I got it.
So what happens, he didn't have this here. So when this thing was running, it was actually sucking water through your system. That trap stops it from pulling water into the system.
Understood.
It's called a condensate trap.
Yep.
But sometimes they get slimy. It's brand new. I mean, after a year or so, if this thing ever starts backing up with water, you put a cap on this and vacuum it from outside. That most likely is what the problem is. Yeah, that's good. Hello! Come see the microns. I wanted to show it to you. 500 microns or better or lower is good. Because that means we got no leaks. I'm pulling a vacuum on it. Look at that, 150. See it? 150 microns?
Yes.
So that's better than 500. That's a lot lower than 500, so we're good there.
Okay.
Now, when I was talking to you on the phone, did you understand what I was saying over the phone or no?
Yeah, of course, yeah, I understood.
You understood?
Oh, I understood. I understood everything you said. You made yourself clear.
I said the same thing to your wife, but she didn't seem to understand it, huh?
I don't understand that.
They know how to wash clothes and cook. That's about it, huh?
That's about it.
If they even know, even if they know how to cook, then you got a good one, right?
My wife does a cook.
She does good.
Yeah, she does good. Yeah. She doesn't like to cook, but she does a good job.
Like I said, it was probably in the evaporator, and sure enough, that's where it was. That's the most common spot for it. And we did.
Yeah, but I wouldn't think that.
And I did check these.
That would go off, so fast.
Well, like I said, I mean, most of the time I charge them up, and they're good for a year, year and a half before the people call me back. Depends on how bad it is. It's hard to say.
That's what my wife cleans house, and that's what the lady does. Every year she has to charge it.
How old's the system?
I don't know. I don't have no
Well, sometimes if they're old, you get better off changing it, you know?
And I guess they
Well, you see how long I've been here fucking with this thing and testing it and getting the coil and coming back. I mean, it's a major issue.
Yep.
It's not an easy fix. If you can even get the coil, sometimes they're no longer available. I mean, there's so much shit that gets involved with it. All right, go ahead and turn it on.
Turn on the unit?
Turn on the unit and turn it down so it runs.
Turn it down. What do you mean turn it down?
Yeah, put on cooling and turn it down. I just had to readjust one of the wires. It was hit. Give it a little juice. Oh, woman.
There's a screw right over there. It's one of them.
You understand?
Yeah, no, I understand. I got it.
What do you call it? It's outside.
On the inside here?
That green.
That's the plastic.
That's the plastic.
That's the aluminum. On both sides. This for a couple of years, remember what I wanted. I said, I'll bring it.
It's lightweight. So it's kind of like plastic aluminum shit.
Oh, this thing lasts forever.
Alright, so a 130 there on the suction, 12 on the superheat, and 10 on the subcool. That's perfect right there. Now feel this coming out now. It's going to be warm. Feel it?
Oh, yeah.
You want to come over here and I can show you the pressures. I don't know if you can see it.
I can see it.
We're at 130 on the suction.
Yeah.
Superheat's good at 11. Subcooling. You know, we're gonna let it stabilize here, but good.
So what do you want?
Subcool at 8, that's good. Superheat at 9, suction at 120, 130, we're good there. What were you saying now?
I was gonna say, what do you think we're running right now on the price?
I'll have to figure it out.
You're gonna send us a bill?
I'm gonna make it out right now and give it to you.
You're gonna give it to me now?
Yeah. Let me figure it out. Let me figure it out.
Let me ask you a question. I'm gonna ask you, if you do cash, will you do it cheaper?
Yeah, I'll give you a break. Yeah, I'll give you a break.
Figure out both ways and then let us know.
All right.
Can I send you, if it's gonna be a check, can I send you a check?
Yeah.
Huh?
Yeah. It does both.